GSE SS8H1.B, explain reasons for European exploration and settlement of North America, with the emphasis on the interests of the Spanish and British in the southeastern area. Let's start off with the reasons for settlement of the Spanish and British. Both countries fought each other. They fought each other so much that they came on over to the New World and fought each other here too. All of them fought with the Indians, the American Indians. Even France was here during this time period, fighting with and against the Indians. And basically, all of them wanted a claim to the New World. Spain wanted it for different reasons than Britain. Britain wanted it different reasons than Spain. But basically, Spain right now, during this time period in the 1500s, is the world leader. Okay, they're in charge. They have lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of gold. So they're very powerful and rich because of all the gold that they have found or have taken. They're called conquistadors. All right, they conquer. They were looking for God to spread the word of God. They were looking for gold to trade gold and glory. They were looking for just the ultimate glory of everything in the world. So those are the three G's you have to know when it comes to Spain and their interests in the New World: God, gold, and glory. Britain, come on. They also want gold too. Who wouldn't want some gold? Now, not necessarily because they think it looks good and they can melt it and make it necklaces, but it's valuable. They can use gold to trade and buy other things that they don't have. And basically, Spain and Britain went to war over this fact right there. Spain's looking for gold in the New World. Britain's looking for gold in the New World, but they're also here for another reason, which we're going to get to in a second. And right now, the leader of Spain, King Philip II, and the leader of Britain, Queen Elizabeth I, aren't really seeing eye to eye on what's going to happen in the New World. King Philip II of Spain looks like this. He's got nothing in the background of his painting. Queen Elizabeth I has nothing in her background of the painting. She's got an outfit. She's got 2 necklaces of pearls, basically a nice little scarfy thing here, a crown in the background, some flowers. That looks nice. A crown up here as well. There's not a lot of blingage. She just looks kind of normal, but that's going to change in just a second. So what happens? The British ships decide to capture the Spanish ships. So Queen Elizabeth is saying, hey, we want to be the new world leader now. So how do we do that? Well, how is Spain the new leader? They have the Spanish Armada. They have a ton of boats, and those boats go around the world and look for gold and bring back treasure from wherever they're going. And if if Great Britain can get the boats, they might influence how Spain is looked in the world, and now maybe Great Britain can be the world leader. So they develop a plan to steal all of the Spanish ships, capture the Spanish ships. If they can't capture them, sink them, and steal whatever else is on those boats. Well, what's on those boats is gold. So the British burned down the Spanish missions while they were at it. It's going to be in the barrier islands of Georgia, which we'll get to later. But you got to know that Great Britain pretty much delivered a fatal blow to Spain's claim in the New World. Britain's now in charge. Queen Elizabeth is basically slapping King Philip all over, and King Philip has nothing to say for it. But then he develops a plan. He's like, you might have hit first, Queen Elizabeth of Great Britain, but guess what? We're coming back, and we're going to get our boats back, and we're going to get our gold back. Yeah, Great Britain was ready for the attack back on Great Britain, so they basically were ready for King Philip and his boats, the Spanish Armada, to come back and try to attack. But that didn't work out so well for Spain, and the British defeated Spain in 1588, basically making them the ruler of the world. Queen Elizabeth has a little bit more blingage going on now. They stole all the boats, they got all the gold, they got all the treasure. She's living it up. You can even see the paintings in the background of the boats that she took from Spain and the boats that they couldn't take from Spain sinking in the water. She's got a whole lot more necklaces. Her neck thing is ginormous. She's got jewels in her hair, okay? And most importantly of this picture is where her right hand is. I can't put the mouse down there, but it's basically on the world. She has her whole hand on the globe of the known world, basically, at that time, symbolizing, alluding to that that Great Britain is the leader, the ruler. She has her hand on the world, and she can make anything happen she wants. It's quite impressive. It's basically like the first smack talk painting from Great Britain to Spain in our world's history. She's like, hey, King Philip, look, I got your boats. They sank, and I'm rich. So you can't do anything about it. So Queen Elizabeth of Britain, after defeating the Spanish Armada, just like Taylor Swift, who's going to be referenced a lot in our standards when it comes to using her song and music, is just going to be kind of fun. So sorry. But Britain now, after stealing all the boats and gold, they are the new world leader. They controlled the ocean and they controlled the new world. So basically, Great Britain can do whatever they want they can do. They thought being in the new world and colonizing it. Now, Spain was looking for God, gold, and glory. Great Britain, which we're going to get to in a second, wanted to colonize the new world. They thought that would make them even more rich. We're about to find out. Through mercantilism. Mercantilism is basically just a video here, and we don't really have a lot of notes for this. In fact, this is it for mercantilism, but it's basically an economic structure to make more money. So, for instance, if we're a country, we want to export more than we want to import. The reason is, if we're exporting more, we're selling more stuff, we're making more jobs, we're selling more product. Importing, all we have to do is buy it, but that costs money, that costs gold. So through mercantilism, Great Britain wanted to be able to export more product than they wanted to import, meaning they're going to make more money. And that's basically mercantilism summed up in this short little video. Let's go to British exploration. So we looked at the Spanish exploration. Now let's look at the Great Britain exploration. Britain wanted to land in the New World, not just for looking for gold, which was something they were looking for, but mostly to the colonization. They wanted to colonize the New World. Mercantilism, again, they want to export more than they import. That makes more money for Britain. And then they also wanted to use trade to better their economy. So basically, they could trade the items in North America, the New World, all across the world. And it's like, oh, brand new bear coverings or whatever it is they're getting in the New World. They can ship it to anywhere else they want to now and sell it for even more money. And it goes back to Great Britain. So now they have another option here through colonization to make even more money for Great Britain. Now, who came to the New World? A lot of people looking for religious freedom. So we're going to get into the Salzburgers. They were kicked out a little bit later. We're going to learn about the Salzburgers. They were kicked out of their land because they weren't a certain religion. And they said, we would like to go to the New World. And they said, okay. King George eventually said, okay, come on over. They were looking for religious freedom, an opportunity to begin a new life. If I can't practice my religion here, I'm going to do it there. If I failed at life in Great Britain, maybe I can start over and be a carpenter or help with something in the New World. So people looking to start a new life and religious freedom basically were the first people that came over to the New World, which established the first permanent, not the first, but the first permanent English colony, which is in Jamestown in Virginia, 1607. If you're looking for a guy to blame for tobacco in our world, it could be John Rolfe. He didn't develop tobacco necessarily, but he developed a way to grow large-scale farms of tobacco and ship it across the world. Rice, tobacco, indigo are three of the risk crops, which we're going to get into later on another element here. But rice, tobacco, and indigo were really important crops that were grown and shipped across the world. And just like the Spanish, again, the British wanted gold, but more so than gold, they wanted to be able to make more money through mercantilism and set up some colonies in the New World. Here's a picture of John Rolfe. He was a Jamestown settler. He didn't invent tobacco. He just perfected the way tobacco was grown for profit. So yeah, I feel confident saying, yeah, it's his fault, John Rolfe. Okay, so British exploration, we're back here. The French and Spanish were a constant threat to the British. The French are still here at this time. So the British said, okay, we got to let the French and Spanish know we're not really going to be leaving anytime soon. So they built a fort. They named it King George, Fort King George, and they built it in 1721. Just for reference here, in 1732, we start developing Georgia. We're all in 1721. The British are already in the New World. They're already in the colonies. There's multiple colonies already. Georgia was the last colony that was part of the 13 colonies. But this fort showed everyone that the British were in charge. The British have forts. This is our land. Leave us alone or suffer the consequences. And here's some pictures of Fort King George. we're just going to roll through these pictures right now. Okay, the main purpose for the British to explore, not the Spanish, the British to explore and settle in the New World. God, gold, and glory. No, that's Spain. They were told to do so by the Queen. No. To colonize and be a revenue stream for England. Yes. Great Britain wanted to colonize the New World and make a revenue stream, make some more money for England. When they got back to the New World, they didn't know how to get back to so C is our best answer. Now, the question changes, the answers stay the same. The main purpose for the Spanish to explore. Well, if we remember GGG, God, gold, glory, and they wanted to convert the American Indians to Christianity, Catholicism to be precise, we would pick A as this is the main purpose for Spanish to explore and settle in the New World. We'll get to the conversion of the American Indians shortly. And then if you had to pick a side, which country will eventually win the New World? A lot of you might say D, and a lot of you would be wrong. The Americans did not win the New World. The Americans won their independence from Great Britain. That's true. But who won the New World? That would be the British. The British eventually were able to kick out the Spanish and the French, get them out of the New World, and then took over the whole continent of North America, basically, at least on the East Coast. French had a large land area on the middle to the west side of the New World on the East Coast, but eventually that is going to be lost as well to the British. So yeah, I'm going to say the British will eventually win the New World. That ends our video on SS8H1.B. Hope you liked it. Again, make sure you go to exceedthestandard.com, find some more videos, video tutorials. I hope you like this one, and I'll see you on the next one. Keep it real.